Welcome back this time to my thoughts on Lion, one of the two new attacking operators coming along with Operation Chimera, and which can currently be playtested if you want to try them out a little bit early on the technical test server. I previously covered Finka, and my opinions on her and her Adrenaline Surge gadget can be found at the link that should be popping up right about now. But on with the show, what does Lion bring to the attacking team's table? His gadget, the EE-1D drone, it's a bit of a mouthful, sits above the map, can't be destroyed by the defenders, and gives Lion 3 charges of a map-wide scan. This scan triggers after 3 seconds warning is given to the defenders, and then lasts for 3 seconds, during which time, if the defenders move, they are immediately shown to the attackers with a red glowing outline. The movement requirement only encompasses moving position. Leaning left or right does not count towards the scan hitting you. In addition, if you are within the radius of a mute jammer, the scan will not affect you for some bizarre reason, given that it is echolocation and not anything electronic based. But regardless, moving on. Why is this scan so damn good as a attacking gadget? Well, most defending teams typically use between 2 to 3 roamers in their lineup, as roamers provide a random element on the map that the attackers have to account for. Without roamers, the attackers would have free reign of probably like 90% of the map and would be free to do whatever the hell they wanted in terms of strategy. However, a large part of the power of a roamer is, roaming. This requires moving in order to get a sick flank off or ambush someone who didn't check where you were currently hiding. And this is where the power of Lion partly shines. By activating his drone scan, he can either force roamers to stay where they are, reducing their effectiveness, or risk giving away their position if they do move. In this sense, Lion's role could be defined as anti-roamer, similar to Dokkaebi or Jackal. But this is only half of the story, as when combined with certain other operators, Lion's gadget can also become a menace for any on-site anchors as well. For instance, the most talked about combination is Lion with Fuse, as Fuse's cluster charge forces movement out of on-site anchors, otherwise, they die. And this then potentially could expose them to a well-timed Lion scan. This type of synergy can be found with any operator who can force the defenders to move in order to be safe. Outside of Fuse then, this encompasses really any operator who can cause widespread environmental destruction, ideally of a vertical nature, vertical destruction. With this in mind, alongside Lion, valid synergy picks could include Sledge, who can break floors, Buck, who can break floors and ceilings, and Ash and Zofia to a lesser extent, who can both do the same thing but not as much as Sledge and Buck. The idea being, if someone breaks the floor beneath you or the ceiling above you, you know that they can very easily peek and kill you, or simply chuck a grenade through the hole once they've cooked it. This is why you, most of the time, move away from that spot when it happens. You know that you're now exposed in that position. But if this happened at the same time as Lion used his drone, well then, that's a lose-lose situation for the defender. Either they move and get revealed, or they stay still and possibly, very likely, get shot from above or below. This is very basic theory crafting, but even at this level, you can see the potential power of a well-played Lion in a communicating team. But what if you're not communicating with your team, or they don't have mics? Well, in that case, I would recommend that, similar to Finka, a good general timing for using Lion's drone is just before your team starts to breach and enter the main building of whatever map you're playing on. Again, similar to Finka's Adrenal Surge, activating it at this point gives whoever is breaching a better chance against any nearby roamers, as they might be revealed, or otherwise won't be revealed if they stand still, or crouch still, whatever, in which case they might not get a good shot off and get the kill. After this point in the game, I quite like to hold on to my charges until either combat happens, or we are about to breach the main sort of bomb site, or whatever mode you're playing on. Outside of specific operator synergies, in what strategy does Lion truly shine? In my opinion, I think he would be an excellent addition to any rush-based strat, where you just try to overwhelm a specific entry point to a site and take it early from the defenders. A Lion's drone scan could be super useful in this attacking strategy, as when you rush a site, you force any roamers off around the map to react and move to support their on-site anchors who are suddenly under intense pressure. And so Lion's scan could really help delay this reactive roamer rotation from supporting their defending teammates. One issue that I would raise regarding Lion's scan is that he can sometimes inspire a little bit of false confidence in less experienced teammates. If a scan goes off and it looks clear, sometimes people just sprint past an angle where someone just decided to sit down and wait out the scan and die as a direct result. With more experienced players, however, this really should not be an issue, as they will be a lot more careful. I would also like to mention just how smartly designed Lion is in terms of his gadget. It's a gadget that really encourages smart operator picks, as well as encourages actual team communication, be that through voice comms or text chat. Whilst it can be effective without these things, specifically against roamers, as already mentioned, it really does get the most mileage when used in combination with another operator, and when timed well with that other operator. This directly encourages players to communicate and also consider their operator picks a little bit more carefully during the operator picking stage. And this is pretty damn fantastic for encouraging players to become more engaged with the advanced elements of Siege play. Of course, other operators have to lesser extents already done this, because of their specific gameplay mechanic and their specific gadget. A decent example would be Vigil, whose interference and gadget means that he cannot be scanned whilst it's active, and this means that whoever actually drones him out knows this and is somewhat encouraged by the game mechanics themselves to then, because they know that they can't scan him and reveal him to their team that way, they're encouraged to use their mic to say something in text chat or whatever method they're using. You know, oi, we're facing a Vigil, you might want to watch out. And that's my basic commentary on game design over. In summary then, Lion has a wealth of uses, and even if you don't bring alongside an operator which he has a lot of synergy with, as mentioned, he can still function by himself as a very effective anti-roamer pick, similar to, say, Jackal. And that's really me done for this video. As always, I hope you found this informative and or interesting, and I'll see you in the next one.